You don't need a law degree to be a great dispatcher, but you do need a working understanding of the federal regulatory framework that governs the carriers you work with. Because when you understand the rules, you can protect your carriers from violations. And a carrier with a clean compliance record is a carrier that stays in business, which means you stay in business. The FMCSA, Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, is the federal agency within the Department of Transportation that regulates commercial motor vehicle safety and interstate freight operations. Everything from operating authority to hours of service to drug testing falls under FMCSA oversight. Let's go through the fundamentals. Operating authority is the FMCSA license that allows a carrier to haul freight for hire in interstate commerce. It's represented by an MC number DE, motor carrier number. A carrier must have active operating authority before they can legally haul any brokered load. As a dispatcher, you should verify that every carrier you work with has active authority before you dispatch a single load. Go to safer.fmcsa.gov, search by MC number, and confirm the status shows active. If it shows inactive or revoked, stop. That carrier cannot legally move freight until their authority is reinstated. The DOT number is the carrier's safety record identifier. It's how FMCSA tracks safety scores, inspections, crashes, and violations. A carrier's CSA score, their compliance, safety, accountability score, is a public record that brokers check before tendering loads. A carrier with a high CSA score is harder to place with good brokers. Part of your value as a dispatcher is knowing which brokers are flexible on CSA and which aren't, and helping your carrier understand how their safety record affects their market access. Insurance requirements are set by FMCSA and vary by commodity type and carrier classification. For most general freight motor carriers, the minimum is $750,000 in public liability, auto liability insurance. Carriers hauling household goods have different minimums. Hazmat carriers have significantly higher minimums, up to $5 million for certain materials. As a dispatcher, you need to know your carrier's insurance coverage and confirm it's at the right level for the freight they're hauling. Hours of service, commonly called HOS, are the federal rules that govern how many hours a commercial driver can operate before taking mandatory rest. In simple terms, a property-carrying driver can drive a maximum of 11 hours after 10 consecutive hours off duty. They can be on duty, driving plus all other work, for a maximum of 14 consecutive hours after coming on duty. These rules exist to prevent fatigue driving accidents. As a dispatcher, you do not book loads that require your driver to violate HOS period. If a broker is pushing a delivery window that's only achievable if the driver runs over hours, you flag it, you document it, and you don't dispatch into it. Drug and alcohol testing is federally mandated for all CDL holders. While testing program administration is the carrier's responsibility, not yours, being aware of it matters. If a carrier tells you they can't pass a test or haven't been tested, that's a carrier you don't dispatch. Finally, ELD compliance. Electronic logging devices are now federally required for most commercial motor vehicles. ELDs automatically record driving time and enforce HOS. Carriers must have ELDs installed and functioning. If a carrier doesn't have an ELD and is required to, they are operating illegally. That's not a carrier you want to be associated with. Your compliance knowledge doesn't have to be expert level, but knowing these fundamentals, authority, insurance, HOS, ELDs, CSA scores, makes you a dispatcher who protects their carriers instead of one who inadvertently exposes them. That wraps up Module 4. You now have the full paperwork picture from carrier packet to rate confirmation to BOL and POD to invoicing to the regulatory framework underneath it all. Module 5, Equipment. Different trucks make money differently, and it's time you knew exactly how. Module 5, Equipment Specialization.